My father inherited you, and ever since those words left his mouth, something inside me has been shifting. Slowly, painfully, inevitably. I didn't understand what he meant at first, how a single sentence could carry so much weight, how it could ignite a storm in a heart I've spent years training to stay calm. But the moment your name was tied to his legacy, his decisions, his vision for the future, everything inside me fractured into questions I couldn't silence. Because inheritance is supposed to be about land, titles, alliances, not a person, not someone who makes my pulse stumble the way you do. And knowing he sees you as part of his world makes me realize how deeply you've stepped into mine. You have to understand something. I grew up watching my father build empires from nothing, shape nations with a single word, carry responsibilities that would crush ordinary men. He doesn't inherit people. He commands them, appoints them, protects them, uses them for the kingdom's good. But with you, his tone was different, softer, thoughtful, almost hesitant. It unsettled me. It made me wonder what he sees in you that even he cannot explain. And the worst part, I felt a streak of something sharp inside me, something between fear and jealousy, because for the first time, someone else was claiming a place in your story before I could understand my own place in it. I've been trying to look at you through my father's eyes to understand why he values you, why he trusted you enough to bring you into the private circles, why he speaks of you with a respect he rarely gives anyone outside our bloodline. But every time I try to analyze it, every time I try to dissect his reasons, I end up confronting reasons of my own, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or duty, reasons that I've been burying under silence for far too long. Because when I look at you, I don't see an inheritance, I don't see a responsibility, I see a force that shakes the foundation of everything I thought I could control. But what unsettles me even more is the way you move through all of this, completely unaware of the storm you've stepped into. You don't try to earn anyone's approval. You don't try to impress my father or conform to the unspoken rules of the royal world. You simply exist with a kind of authenticity that everyone else has lost. And that authenticity is exactly what terrifies me, because people like you don't just enter kingdoms, you redefine them. You don't just walk into leaves, you change them quietly without ever lifting your voice. And maybe that is why he sees something in you that others don't. Maybe that is why I do too. I've noticed the shift in the palace ever since you arrived. The way conversations pause when you enter, the way guards straighten, as if acknowledging an unspoken authority, the way my siblings observe you like they're trying to decipher something only you have. You don't even realize you have that effect. You don't see the way power adjusts itself around you, bending without resistance. And I think that's what frightens my father and me. Because power that doesn't need to declare itself is the most dangerous kind. And you carry it so effortlessly, like it was born into you, like the universe placed it in your hands long before any of us understood it. Sometimes late at night, when the palace hallways fall silent, I catch myself thinking about what it means for my father to have inherited you, and what it means for me to feel the way I do. There is a line between duty and desire, between the kingdom's expectations and a man's private truth, and you stand exactly at that intersection. I wonder if my father sensed this before I did. I wonder if he knew you would matter to me in ways I'm still trying to accept. Maybe this isn't just inheritance. Maybe this is fate taking shape in the most unexpected, uncontrollable form. And now here I am, caught in the middle of something much bigger than a royal declaration. Because no matter what my father says, no matter how he tries to attach you, to his legacy. Deep inside, I know you don't belong to him. You don't belong to any power, any title, any dynasty. You are something entirely different, something untouchable. And the truth I can't say out loud is that the only thing I fear more than losing control is losing you to a world that thinks it has a claim on you. He said it so casually, as if passing down an heirloom, as if you were something he held, something he protected long before I ever understood what love meant. And the moment those words settled into the silence, my entire world changed shape around them. I kept replaying his tone, the certainty in his voice, the quiet weight of the truth he thought I was ready to bear. It made me question every moment, every glance, every shift in destiny that pulled you toward me long before I had the courage to reach back. Suddenly, the universe didn't feel random anymore. It felt written, deliberate, orchestrated, and somehow you were always at the center of the script. I walked through the palace halls after that, feeling like I was walking through someone else's life. The portraits of my ancestors stared down at me with pride, yet all I could think about was how deeply you were woven into the legacy I never asked for. I grew up being told what I must protect, what I must own, what I must inherit, but no one prepared me for the kind of inheritance that came wrapped in a heartbeat. No one warned me that one day I would inherit something that could break me beautifully if I wasn't careful. I found myself wondering what it meant. Were you meant to be guarded, claimed, sheltered, or was this something far deeper? Was it destiny trying to curve the path of my life toward yours? Because nothing else explains why every step I take seems to echo your name now. Even the air feels heavier, thicker, as if carrying you within it. It's strange how one revelation from him reshaped the way I see you, the way I breathe when you walk into a room, the way my pulse betrays me without hesitation. I never believed in fate, yet now I feel like I'm trapped inside it. You've been in my life in quiet ways, quiet enough that I didn't see the pattern forming, a pattern my father apparently saw long before I did. And the idea that he recognized your importance before I ever admitted it, it unsettles me. Maybe he saw the way my eyes softened around you, the way I straightened every time you entered a space, the way my silence trembled when your voice brushed against it. Maybe he saw what I refused to confront, that you were the one thread capable of unraveling every wall I spent years building. But with that realization came fear. Fear that you were never truly mine to choose, that destiny decided too soon, that the kingdom carved your place beside me without ever asking you what you wanted. And that terrifies me more than anything else, because I never want to cage you inside expectations built by men who came before me. I want you to stand beside me by choice, not because history decided it for us. Still, a part of me can't deny the strange comfort that settles in my chest when I think about his words. If my father saw something in you worth entrusting to his son, then maybe he saw the future with clearer eyes than I ever did. Maybe he wasn't passing you to me. Maybe he was reminding me that some bonds aren't built, they're inherited, carried through bloodlines, strengthened through time, and felt long before they're understood. And now, every time I look at you, I feel the weight of that legacy pressing gently against my heart. Not a burden, not an obligation, just a truth that I was always meant to find you, that our story didn't begin with me, and it will not end with us. Something older, something larger, something breathtakingly inevitable tied our names together, long before I ever learned how to say yours with reverence. There is a weight in my chest that I cannot name, a restless ache that begins the moment I wake and refuses to leave until night falls again. I find myself wandering through rooms filled with grandeur and silence, Yet all I can hear is the echo of thoughts about you. You have shifted something inside me, something I believed was steady, unmovable, untouchable. Every strategy, every plan, every carefully constructed mask I wore to face the world feels thinner, more fragile, more meaningless. You do not even try to affect me, and yet the gravity of your presence pulls me off balance in ways I cannot resist. I notice the smallest details about you now, details that would have once escaped my notice entirely. The tilt of your head when you are curious, the soft sigh you release when you are tired, the way your hands tremble slightly when words fail you. These moments are like sparks igniting a storm I cannot contain. I replay them endlessly in my mind, memorizing every flicker, every nuance, as though doing so will somehow allow me to capture what you mean to me. And in truth, I realize I do not want to capture you. I only want to understand why you hold this inexplicable power over me. Every interaction with you carries a tension I cannot name, a pull that straddles desire and fear, longing and restraint. I am aware of how carefully I speak, how measured my gestures are, how I strive to remain composed even when my mind betrays me with every glance I steal. It is maddening, the way you unravel the parts of me I thought were unshakable. You are quiet, but your presence speaks louder than any command or decree ever could. And perhaps that is why I am drawn to you so completely, because you are the only person who makes silence feel alive. I watch how the world responds to you, how people bend subtly, unconsciously, to your existence, and it terrifies me. Not because of jealousy, but because I see clearly how fragile control is when faced with someone like you. You do not force authority, yet authority follows you. You do not demand attention, yet attention finds you. You are a force that I cannot contain, and yet I am drawn toward that force as though my very survival depends on surrendering to it. It is an intoxicating danger, one that I both crave and fear, one that I do not know how to resist. Sometimes I imagine a life without you, and it feels hollow, colorless, impossible. Every victory, every triumph, every accolade I have ever achieved loses its meaning when I cannot share it with you, when I cannot feel your presence threading through the moments that matter. And yet, imagining you close fills me with a mixture of fear and wonder, fear of what it will cost me, and wonder at how deeply someone can enter your life without ever intending to. You are not just part of my world, you are the axis on which it now turns, the gravity that shapes my every thought and every choice.